Yes, we are.
The holiday season is over, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back once again with the Dragoon's Lair podcast. And this week we are doing something a little out of the usual because this is going to be our top lists with a couple reviews thrown in.
Yes.
But yeah, Mike is not with us this week.
Hi, Mike.
So
oh man.
Yeah, so we're going to do things a little different.
Mike.
So
recovery.
Yep.
That herpes really must hurt you really bad.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He got me on the last one.
I ain't touching that one. I ain't touching that one.
Neither is
No.
she.
But no, but so for all the lads and lassies out there, let us just give you a festive greeting for you. I know, wrong holiday, ain't it? But then with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dragoon's Lair podcast. I am the Blue Dragoon himself, Daniel the Dragon, and with me once again is the family man himself, James Haynes.
Hello, everybody.
And we wish Mike a speedy recovery so he can return to us in the new year, freshed and reformed as a new Mike should.
Irish snow baby he is.
We'll give him a little bit of Irish spring. It'll help him out over the holidays.
Yes.
No.
No.
We do hope Mike is okay. He texted me he wasn't going to be able to be here for the recording of today.
Too
So
much coquito doesn't do you good, my man.
No.
Neither does hard milk.
Yes, but
That is damn good.
But you just did the wrong accent with coquito, so you might.
I know. I did. I did it with
you
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, you went wrong.
I know.
You went way wrong.
That's okay.
No.
Pope Cheech is going to change the wine to tequila.
Yeah, no. So we went and we decided that this is that time of year where we've celebrated the holidays, and there really isn't a ton of things for us to watch. No. And I don't want to make you guys run out to the movie theaters to have to go see anything that would cost more money after you spent, I'm pretty sure, a pretty penny for the holiday season. And yeah, decided we're going to go over our top lists.
Yes.
But when we're going to start this off a little interestingly.
A little different.
A little differently. Because let's break things down with Jimmy's top wrestling moments. And you know, on the Dragoon's Lair podcast, we like our top 6. We like 6 because it's one more than 5.
Yes.
We just got to be at one extra.
One extra.
Yep. So, Jimmy, what do you got for your list to start us off?
Well, honestly, a couple of them are matches, and lately they've been adding in a bunch of really good things.
Yes, but right now yours are supposed to be the WWE.
Oh no, this is all WWE.
Yep.
You're gonna laugh.
Top 6 WWE matches of 2024.
I was gonna go top WWE moments, but here we go. Number 6. Everybody shitting on the New Day, including Dirty Dom. Yes, even Dirty Dom got in on the action last week. Oh my God. Why don't you make up with Big E, you morons? Number 5.
Listen, before we get to that one, I gotta say it's
that was fun.
Listen, that is absolutely one of the greatest heel turns I've ever seen, because they didn't need to do anything more than just turn their backs on Big E. Yeah. And turning their back on Big E was the turning point that truly solidified the New Day's villain era.
Oh yeah.
And brought
it back.
Oh yeah, but this, which I found funny.
The trombone.
The real funny part is they did this. What was it? Around Thanksgiving was their 10-year anniversary. Considering the New Day premiered on Black Friday, the day after Christmas, it was very weird. Coming out for them initially.
No pun intended.
Yeah. But no, the fact that they did tell Dirty Dom, who cannot even speak on the mic without being booed, they are getting that same treatment. And yet they tell him.
That was priceless.
Yeah, they insulted his mustache. And he's like, Tom Selleck wishes. You know, like.
Even your own mother doesn't even want to deal with you.
Yeah, so that is absolutely a great moment.
And number 5, speaking of Dirty Dom, his turning point moment when he not only sucked face with Liv at SummerSlam, but got the suck shit kicking out of him, not only by Rhea, but also by Michael Cole calling him a son of a bitch, and then Wait for it, because we all did. Pat McAfee go, can I say? Can I say? Yeah, sure. That piece of shit! That was a classy moment.
Yeah,
I don't care. I fell off my chair watching SummerSlam on that one. And getting to SummerSlam, I will say this. The return of the original Tribal Chief, that was the turning point of the creating of the double bloodline, which is number 4. And that includes War Games.
All right. Yeah, War Games was massive. It was very violent, and it caused a lot of injuries.
A lot. Let's put it
I know
this way.
they were actually thinking about stopping War Games because of the fact that they may have to put it on like hiatus for a while.
They need to put a roof on it the way it was. They need to re-put the roof back on. Because you can bring the weapons in there, you bring the tables, you can bring the chairs, you can bring
the jumping off the cage, though.
Yeah, that needs to stop. They need to go back to the lid. Dusty had the lid. He created it. Don't you remember that? And by the way, I don't know if you noticed. Main Event Jay and what's her name? Are the only 2 wrestlers to win 3 years in a row.
Io?
No, what's her name? What's her name?
You really need to stop with the gestures. People.
Jade's tag partner.
Bianca Belair?
Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
The only 2.
Okay.
3 years in a row. And and Sammy.
Yep.
Not bad.
That's actually a pretty good track record,
Yeah.
at least for them. And coming out with no injuries.
Except for a toe. No, that was Jimmy.
So you broke your toe?
Yeah. Not me.
You said Jimmy.
I know. Number 3, I'm going to go with WrestleMania, and we're going to go with the cashing in of Money in the Bank and how that whole Drew, Seth, and Damian Priest all strung out. Plus
Came to a head, basically?
Basically, yes, and CM Punk getting his hands in on that one.
Hey, listen, you know what? That was a great start for that storyline.
That was a good chase to
especially because of the fact that you figure Drew made a huge stink out of taking CM Punk out of action, busting up his arm, and what ends up happening? He ends up costing himself the championship, winning it at WrestleMania and losing it in WrestleMania in record time. That was one of the shortest championship reigns in quite a while, because we can't include the 24/7 hardcore title, because that one just
the 24/7, 24, 25, 365, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
The psychotic title. No, so what is your number 1 then?
Well, actually, remember, I got 2 more left.
You got 2 more? Yep. Oh.
2 more left.
Okay, so what do you got?
Is also at WrestleMania, the Cody Rhodes finishing the book. It was a very nice and long book. All right, you finished it. You had to have the Undertaker.
He finished his story. Listen, he finished his story.
Yep.
The story needed an ending.
Yep.
And now it's on to a new chapter.
Yeah. Yeet. And number 1, Hell in a Cell.
Okay.
That was a dangerous match. And that was damn good.
Yeah. Took Drew McIntyre and CM Punk out for a little while, gave him an opportunity for some rest, recovery.
Yep, they say there will be blood. There was blood. There was sweat. There was tears, and there was
a toolbox.
Oh yes, and also those. And listen, there's probably some kid crying, going, "Where's all my bracelet material?" It's in the ring with Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I think they cleaned out a Michaels.
Oh yeah, and I would like to remind everybody that Liv also has what did Rhea now call him? A chicken tender
slut.
That was good.
Oh yeah. So now we've gotten the wrestling out of the way.
Yes.
So now I've got some anime top picks.
Go for it.
There were so many great anime this year. Narrowing it down to a top 6 was really difficult for me because it was so difficult. I didn't want to constantly hit series that have been ongoing, because if I did that, then I would have had no choice but to say Mushoku Tensei, because it's just amazing, and it hit its second part. You know, they keep doing like multiple seasons coming back in different times. So there's some that it's like I had to pick at least one that was a return, but I'm going to do this out of order.
Go right ahead.
So I want to start with one that was a sleeper that I don't think anybody really talked about, which was Viral Hit. Basically the story of a kid who goes viral for attacking one of the people that would bully him, and it got recorded after the stream was over, and it just became a sensation, and he became a viral hit. So he kept going out there and getting into fights with people over different issues, but he was basically doing this to not get hurt. So you would see him training to fight and not get hurt. And Viral Hit really was good, and I think it was extremely underrated and flew under people's radar. Now, another one, which this is a returner because it's technically a continuation after Dragon Ball Z, replacing Dragon Ball GT. So we have Dragon Ball Daima.
Yes.
And Dragon Ball Daima is still going on, but so far I'm loving everything that they've done, turning everyone back into kids, going in...
And babies.
Yeah, but we're not seeing the ones that were children turned back to babies. They're really following like younger versions of the characters going into the demon realm, and there's 3 different demon realms fighting for those Dragon Balls, where they're creating a whole new version of Majin Buu. So it's absolutely great. I love where the story's going, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how Akira Toriyama's last story in the Dragon Ball franchise that he had his hands in really comes into full fruition. Now, another one that was great, Kaiju number 8. Kaiju number 8, the story of a guy who is basically on the cleanup crew, cleaning up after these giant kaiju monsters, and he ends up joining the task force, one of the older shonen protagonists, because this guy's in his 30s. So where most shonen protagonists are young kids. So this one is more of an adult, and he actually starts becoming a kaiju. He's infected by kaiju number 8, and he becomes this monster that he's actually working with the task force and helping to stop the kaiju. So this is actually really good. The theme song is an absolute banger. Now, another one I got to hit, which absolutely phenomenal, based off of a Korean manhwa, not manga, because it's Korean instead of Japanese, Solo Leveling.
Okay.
Solo Leveling the animation was top tier. Every episode within the first, I would say 6 episodes, kept leaving off on a cliffhanger, and I was like, you son of a bitch, I want to see the next episode. When you got me hooked that good, that goes to show, holy shit, I really wanted more. Now, another one, we talked about it on the show before, because it's been locked in Disney prison, which is where some anime that highly underrated. Yeah, they're underrated because Disney's not promoting them. But there is going to be a second season, so I'm excited. So it really made me have to put it on the list for Go-Go Loser Ranger.
Okay.
So in 2025, we're going to be getting a second season, and there's going to be another anime that's going to be Power Ranger themed, where it's the Red Ranger gets isekai'd into another world and still gets to keep his Ranger powers. So that one's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see how that one comes out. But Go-Go Loser Ranger, one of the villains, trying to take down a Ranger force that's actually a bunch of dicks. It really works. Now, I've got to give an honorable mention to Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian. That one was a great story. It was very cute. And it's an honorable mention because it was one of those that it would have flown under the radar for a lot of people, but having this girl, she likes the guy and doesn't know, he actually understands Russian. And she'll have those moments where it's she's upset, or she's kind of flirting with him, and he understands what she's saying because she's saying it in Russian, and she thinks he doesn't have a clue. Meanwhile, he knows what she's saying. But my number one pick, and even though I did them not in any sequential order, this one has to be number one, Dan to Dan.
Okay.
Dan to Dan, I know you guys made fun of Turbo Granny, but
Turbo Granny!
Yeah, no. This one, it's got its second season, has already been announced, and Dan to Dan is absolutely amazing. It has its comical elements to it, the supernatural elements with like the sci-fi aspect where it's like there's aliens, but there's also ghosts and other spirits. And then on top of that, the English voice acting is phenomenal. And the fact that the former actress, Barbara Goodson, who did the voice of Rita Repulsa, is actually the voice of Turbo Granny. So that to me, just, it really kicked it up a notch. It really is one that I have to say is like top tier. So
I was, with animation wise, I will tell you this: the Cape Crusader, I was impressed with on Amazon. I was, thank you, Secret Levels, which you did hear the good news.
Yep, season 2.
Ooh.
I'm taking my time. I'm taking my time with it because
Yes.
so far every episode has been really good.
It just keeps leveling up nicely.
Oh yeah, and it's different stories,
Yeah.
different ones. So that's one. So since we're already
And,
on,
and I'd also like to just, even with, on anime, Suicide Squad. The isekai wasn't too bad, but it gives an honorable mention to anything that I give because
see, I have a hard time.
I was disappointed. I give it honorable mention is because the way they did the show. I mean,
well, it was meant to be
Japanese?
in a Japanese style, and it was an isekai. It just, for me,
it bounced.
it fell short. It
Yeah.
really did.
But that's why I got an honorable mention.
It had such potential,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to mention it because of the fact that it fell short.
It just I mean, that's why I give it an honorable mention in a way because making, any list, yes, but I mean Cape Crusader was a heck of a lot better than that, and it gave a different storyline because you had a female penguin, and then it gives you.
Well, here's the thing. Why don't we talk now about our best TV shows of the season? Now, I had to do some returning ones for that because it's a little difficult because we did have some seasons that were coming back. So for me, no specific order. Arcane season 2 was absolutely phenomenal. I loved the Arcane show. I didn't really know anything about the show itself or the game that it's based off of, so I was able to enjoy it just as what it was. Now, one that was the end of the CW Arrowverse.
Yeah.
Its final show, Superman and Lois, and I liked the way it ended.
I watched what you sent me. The kid added Gotham. Wrong network, but thank you for adding Gotham.
The problem is the CW shows for the Berlanti-verse had one major dog show on there, and that would be Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
But
that
that
was a flop.
Thank God it was last year.
And the thing is, I don't think that.
If you can hear that, my dryer's done.
Okay, all right. If
Yeah.
anybody has any comments about how to get a dryer like that, you can email Dan and me at
DragoonSlayerPodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's DragoonSlayerPodcast@gmail.com.
and don't forget to get the bounce.
Yeah. Now, another show that did come back was Futurama.
Yes.
Had what could be its final season. Who knows? They did a great job. I love when they come back with Futurama. Futurama has actually become more of a favorite. I prefer it rather than The Simpsons. It's just
I haven't watched The Simpsons in. Yeah, that's how long.
yeah. It's
Even South Park. The
see
same way.
The Simpsons. I'll watch every now and then, but it's more for like the Treehouse of Horrors.
Yes, that's what everybody's basically waits for. That's when it basically you knew it was the season premiere for because of what? The Treehouse of Horror.
But now it's kind of gotten shuffled into the mix.
Yeah.
So it becomes a little
animation domination.
more. Yeah. But now another one on my list, Agatha All Along.
Yes.
Agatha All Along was not as a surprise to me that I was going to love it, but the fact that they did such an amazing job with Agatha All Along, like Marvel actually stepped up when it came to Agatha all along, and showed that they could really do a great show tying it into the universe with other things involved. So it ties back, and then it looks like there'll even be a future for more, for what to tie into White Vision, and possibly even the show for the other brother.
Yep.
So we'll see how that one all plays out. Now, I did put Secret Level on my list because it is one of those things where it's a short series, but Amazon Prime really squeaked one in on this one because I was not expecting the animation to be as good as it is, and for the stories that they're telling.
And especially who they have as guest voices on it.
Oh, yeah. You know, like even just, what was it, the third episode having Schwarzenegger?
Arnold.
Yeah. And
then you go in Keanu.
Yeah. But then we have my top pick, though, is Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2.
Yes.
Because, in all honesty, I have a bad feeling that because next year, in 2025, we're going to be getting the Karate Kid Legacy movie.
Yeah.
So Netflix will probably be dropping Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3 right before the movie drops.
Yeah.
So that's my prediction for that one.
Do it before you bring out Stranger Things, please. Bring back Stranger Things.
Well, you know what? We'll see how long everything takes with Stranger Things. You know.
See, what me, a lot of, like, half the time I'm watching the Food Network, so at least the baking championships or half the time are on there. Secret Levels is on there. Squid Games, both versions is on there.
Well, yeah, season 2 just started.
Yes. One that's actually impressed me was that, like we said, the Batman Cape Crusader, but also the Sex Lives of College Girls has been hysterical.
Okay.
Things that you like.
Yeah, that one's on my list. I just haven't had a chance to actually get to it yet.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I keep an eye on that one. What If, which we will probably
yes, we're definitely going to be talking about that.
Okay.
It didn't make my list because it's not done yet.
Yeah.
It still has a couple more days before it's done, and
we'll talk about what we've seen, so what we know so far.
Yeah, which we'll get to that right after we finish up your part of the list.
Yes. One thing I'm impressed with was Deal or No Deal Island, because it brought reality stars and people non-reality and everything. And a friend of mine's going to be on there from my show.
Yeah.
I wish him the best of luck on that, because he's on there with a young lady named Parvati, who was on another show which has 2 parts, which is Traders and Traders UK, which has been pretty good, and it actually won the Emmy. So,
yeah.
And of course, one top show which I hope everybody did watch and still watch, We Are Family. I gotta give myself a cheap plot.
I figured I didn't need to plug that one.
No.
Although I will say, We Are Family was good. It did have a few flop moments in there because some of those people didn't really feel like they were celebrities. And then also Anthony Anderson not being able to be there for the whole thing. I kind of wish it would have just been Mama and Joe McHale.
Oh, Joe McHale let me tell you, they put it in because he had to push the Animal Planet next week, which was that is a funny ass show.
Which Animal Control is coming back, so
yes. Yes.
But
they're chasing the giraffe.
Yeah, so we're going to get to see another season of that. I do have to make one very big honorable mention, though, out of shows that have come out this year. I don't want to give it too much praise because the season isn't over yet, but I do have to give it to Papa's House.
Okay.
The Damon Wayans and Damon Wayans Jr. show. That is absolutely hilarious. I love that at the end of each episode, they have like the bloopers of them like cracking jokes, trying to get the lines right and everything. But Damon Wayans and his son together on screen are comedy gold because it really is like looking into the past and the future when you have the two of them together, because his son is so much like him, and they even make little joke references. In one of the episodes, there is a Misery reference, and he's tied to the bed, and he's like, no, you don't have to worry about it. I already have a club foot. And she's like, well, now you'll have 2. It was one of those things where I'm just like, they're hitting Misery references, so they're hitting other things, but it is absolutely hilarious.
Now, you also said bringing back Futurama and everything. You heard the rumor that's going around about Family Guy?
No.
Family Guy, all right, you remember when it hit Cartoon Network, everybody's like, you got to bring it back, and they brought it back to Fox.
Yeah.
Well, Fox is ready to let it go, and it's ready to go to a network that's picking up and revitalizing new shows like Beavis and Butthead, Futurama.
Paramount?
No. Comedy Central.
Well, Comedy Central did a pretty decent job with Futurama.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Family Guy would actually fit better on Comedy Central, considering the fact that South Park is very short seasons. So to have Family Guy kind of mixed in there would work really well. But it's all a matter of how things play out.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, we'll see how things play out, because Fox would be stupid to let Family Guy go. It's been a cash cow. But then again, you know, we've seen how networks let shows slip through their fingers constantly, so it becomes an issue. But now let's go and let's talk about What If.
Yes.
So now there's been 6 episodes so far. I'm caught up to date. Are you up to...
You know that.
I have to ask because, you know, they come out at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So even I didn't realize they were coming out at first because I forgot until I went on there for the Doctor Who Christmas special.
It is, that is, okay, so that is part 5. That isn't.
Yes.
I have to watch that. I look forward to
That's
that.
the special that came out after the first season that was complete with Shooty Gatwin.
Yes.
Which I have to say, like, just to take a trip onto this one, if you're a fan of Bridgerton, one of the actresses from Bridgerton is on this Christmas episode of Doctor Who. It's very touching because there is a moment there where she does make a reference about like 2020 and not being able to say goodbye to her mother in person. So they are still connecting it in the realm of the real world, but also in the fantastical world with a time hotel. This one has a time hotel.
Oh, boy.
So I've got to give them a lot of credit. They're coming up with some very interesting concepts. The only drawback is we don't know when the next episode will be when the new season starts just yet. But I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yes.
And because
it'll be on Disney Plus.
yeah, and because of that, I was able to see What If because it was there with the recommendations. Because I honestly I didn't hear anything about it. They really didn't seem to be advertising
I knew it was coming. I almost forgot the date, and then I seen the 22nd. I'm like, okay, when is that? A Sunday?
Yeah, it's like a Christmas like tradition almost
Yes.
now, but I don't know if it'll get another season.
No, because they're saying this is the final season, and I'm like, why? After everything you got coming out, and then you add the big guy to it.
Yeah.
everything.
Listen, the best thing the thing that they could do, which I think would be a smart move, is to continue What If every year for the holidays, and you don't have to just do it for the MCU. Go back and tell some of the ones from the comics.
Yeah.
Tell those stories because you have more characters than what's just hit the screen. You can see where they'd be able to see
who they just added as of today.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Heavens, they finally added them into the MCU and everything.
Well, you know, they were in the MCU. It's just
No, yeah, but no, I'm talking about the villain
oh yeah.
today. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like when you look at what they've done, it's just one of those things where you could really tell, like, if you told the stories from the comics of, like, what if Namor the Submariner married Sue Storm?
Yeah.
Like, you tell that story. You've already got Namor.
What if the Silver Surfer had possessed the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah, so there were so many different stories. You know, what if Kraven the Hunter had killed Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm.
There are so many stories that they could tell.
Those are the best.
Yeah. And I would like to see those animated. So I think that would be a good way for them to go on that one.
And now that you got the movies coming out, hello.
Yeah.
How much other than Crate, which you can bring bring in.
Yeah, but that's the thing, we have so many options there. But so far, out of these 6 episodes, I've been enjoying each of them. And I like the fact that now they're starting to actually address the fact that Uatu the Watcher has kind of gotten involved in things.
Yep, and he's not, no,
Yeah,
you bad boy.
Yeah, so we're not... By the time this airs, more like it should be at the final episode of the season, but we're trying not to give away too many spoilers here, but we're going to go into some spoiler territory now. So if you want, come back. You'll see the time code in the show notes, and you'll be able to know where to go on to the next topic.
Have a nice coffee.
Yeah.
Have some water.
You can skip ahead or just let it play in the background as you actually catch up to watching the episodes.
Yes.
But the first episode being having the robotic Avengers, having giant mech Avengers.
The mech Avengers.
That was like so cool because they formed together like if they were like a Megazord or Voltron. It was just an awesome
Bringing them
moment.
in because they were phenomenal in the I like how Feige, like you said, they went to the comics.
Yeah.
On this.
See what's there. See what's going to resonate with the fans. What do the fans want to see? Because you know what? They want to make toys. Hey, guess what? You could sell the toys for this now.
And they've already had
No, but just do them as what if figures now.
Yes. Oh, even more.
Yeah.
Because they already have.
Yeah, but now you can put them in a package that says what if.
Yep. Because they already have the what if what do you call soldier?
Yep.
With Steve Rogers,
Oh yeah.
the super soldier. They already have Agent Carter.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch
now
of
you bring out more.
Yeah. And then what was the second episode? Because it's like there were so many of
Let's talk about what the heck was what was it? Kat Dennings and Howard the Duck?
Oh, that was absolutely. I
hysterical.
loved that episode.
That was a great episode.
You know what? You put Kat Dennings in anything, and I will watch it. But the fact that they had her hook up with Howard the Duck, which was a callback from season 2, with Thor basically throwing a massive party on Earth.
Not only that, he threw them a freaking party.
Oh yeah.
The second episode was what if the child? No, that's
Nope.
Hold on. No, let's go season 3. There we go. What if Agatha went to Hollywood?
Oh yeah,
that was good too.
That was an amazing episode.
And bringing the Eternals in.
Yep. Well, only one of them.
Only one.
Yeah.
Because she killed off the others.
Well, she didn't kill them off. She said she put them in storage.
Yeah.
Because she was borrowing their powers. So.
And then you see the Celestials come out.
Oh yeah, that was the thing though. Agatha just absorbing power instead of like looking for the Scarlet Witch and stuff. She's absorbing powers of the Eternals by taking the powers of a Celestial. Like that was a great callback to the Eternals movie, which.
And Howard Stark is the director.
Oh yeah, which you could kind of picture Howard Stark doing something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 3 though.
What if the Red Guardian stopped?
The Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Not only that, did you notice who was basically trying to pay him off?
Yeah.
Odie.
Yeah.
Freaking Jeff Bridges.
Of course.
That was hysterical.
Well, you figure he was the villain of Iron Man, so why would they not do that?
Yeah.
It was a great payoff for a what if, going all the way back to the first Marvel Cinematic MCU entry in the actual cinematic universe. So it worked really well.
Yeah.
And I like the back and forth between Bucky and the Red Guardian. Like the two of them.
And they made him younger.
Yeah. Well, he was. You figure at that point, that was before. So it was like when Howard Stark was still alive and Tony was still a kid. So, yeah, of course you could do that. And it worked so well. It was just weird at the end where you have Red Guardian standing there all goofy
Excuse me,
with the rest of the Avengers. Meanwhile, Natasha's standing right next to him. They missed an opportunity to have him throw his arm around Natasha like my daughter, because it's no, that storyline now doesn't happen for Black Widow because he's not there. So it changed things up, and they even had Red Guardian pop up in the first episode with the Avengers robots. So it was really one of those things where they're
And not only that, did you see how? What would you interpret getting to that first episode? Those radiation figures. You know what they reminded me of? Though that Fantastic Four #1, the monster,
the Mole Man.
the mole coming out with the
Yeah.
Mole Man. That's what it
A
reminded me of.
little bit, but they were all supposed to be kaijus.
Yeah.
That's the thing I found hilarious for that first episode was it was giant monsters, all gamma radiated monsters. So it just works. It's just fun. It's like if you're a Godzilla fan, you were definitely going to enjoy this one. And then we had Kat Dennings and Seth Green, Howard the Duck.
Howard Duck got hitched.
Yeah, Howard the Duck and
Darcy.
having a kid, and it's like she laid an egg.
No, it's like
Everyone was chasing after the egg,
including Loki, who was trying to push
Oh, no.
the ski resort.
Loki was not after the egg. That was the funny part.
He just wanted some advertisement.
He's looking to advertise to bring the entire Frost dimension all into it's a resort.
And then they have the Black Order come out.
And they call Thanos, and Thanos is like, "You called me for an egg?"
It's a powerful egg. Oh, really?
It really was one of those moments where we're just like, "Oh my God, what the hell is going on here?"
Yes.
Now, then we went off.
The Emergence.
Yeah.
Quentin Beck, the Mysterio himself, without Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Without Spider-Man in this.
Yeah.
And it's like Riri trying to...
This was a Riri Williams story, and this is where the overarching theme is kind of starting to play out with Uatu the Watcher.
Yup.
Because he's kind of making his presence known a little more than just what he did in previous seasons of intervening. He now didn't just bring people together. No, he's actually inspiring Riri.
Oh, no, turn around.
It was no, fight.
Did you notice in the room during the Howard the Duck episode who was on the wall?
No.
In the kids' room? It was Uatu.
Oh yeah. Well, Uatu is always watching.
He's like babysitting the kids.
He was basically the shadow.
Yeah.
He was the shadow on the wall. They find ways to have Uatu's silhouette there somewhere.
Yes.
It's great the way that they do that. And now the latest episode, as of recording today, going back to the Old West with Kate Bishop
Shang-Chi.
and Shang-Chi.
Going after the Hood. That's what I was talking about. Because if everybody remembers...
But it also had Walter Goggins, which we haven't seen Walter Goggins since what? Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's who he's basically... Yeah, that's who the Hood's employee is. But the Hood, people will remember through a lot of the Secret Invasion.
No one's going to remember the Hood. The Hood was a forgettable character.
Unless you followed Spider-Man, Daredevil.
Yeah, but for the most part, pretty much a forgettable character.
That's the sad part.
Yeah. But the way this is all tying together, because Uatu's playing a little too much hands in, so we will probably discuss how everything turns out in the new year as a final breakdown for What If, and for our first episode of 2025. But now, that's the thing. We went through What If, and it's getting good. But it came out so late, I couldn't put it on my list.
Yeah.
But now, let's go, and we got to talk the Superman trailer.
Yes.
Because now we know it is coming out in July.
7/11.
July 11th, 2025.
Don't forget to get your Slurpee first.
Yeah, you got to make sure you have the app, though. Otherwise, everybody forgets.
Yes, get the app. Then get your Slurpee, and then go see Superman.
I don't have the app. I was annoyed because I didn't know you needed to have the app to get the free Slurpee. I'm like, no. Stop making me install things on my phone. I'm tired of having to.
app because I get my small coffee in the morning.
Yeah,
For 80 cents.
Yeah, but I don't want any of their shit anymore. I'll get the app when they start doing the Japanese 7-Eleven, where the food is higher quality, where you actually have some seasonal snacks and stuff. I've noticed that they're starting to sell toys and whatnot in there. They have anime
Dasher,
figures.
Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Slurpee, Big Gulp, Donna Blitz.
Yeah, but they've had at some 7-Elevens, they have anime figures there. So it's
They got poppables there.
yeah.
Pops.
Yeah,
I mean,
some of them. It all depends on the size of the location.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, you know. But we got to talk the Superman Legacy trailer because, I mean, there are so many Easter eggs in this trailer. The first thing, though, James Gunn knows how to play with everyone's emotional heartstrings. The guy who wrote Scooby-Doo goes and gives us Crypto.
Yes.
And that was a brilliant move. To see Crypto, the super dog.
Crypto.
Yeah.
Home.
Yeah, it's like him just like laying there beaten up and just trying to give like the edge of his cape to Crypto. Crypto takes it and runs. Like that alone, just on Crypto alone, I have hope for the DCEU.
Told you.
It's hope. It does not mean that I am.
We're going to give him more room, but
Yeah.
I give him hope.
He's given me hope that he's going to do the right thing and that these stories are going to be fun. They're going to be exciting. They're going to make us want to go back to the theater and see comic book movies again.
Because now, out of this, we've already seen through this trailer a Nathan Fillion with the bowl cut.
Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, the Green Lantern that nobody wants to reference.
But they had a fight because everybody has seen, thank you, Ryan Reynolds with Hal Jordan, and the Kilowog and all them.
Yeah, but let's just be. That's dead.
That's dead.
That was dead even before the Snyderverse.
I know. That's the bad news.
That's the good news. It was dead.
But but Sinestro looked pretty damn good though.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, it didn't matter.
No.
Because the movie was garbage, and Ryan Reynolds wasn't the problem. Ryan Reynolds shouldn't have been Hal Jordan.
No.
Nathan Fillion should have been Hal Jordan. Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, is who Ryan Reynolds should have been playing. The comic book artist. The guy who went and, had a lot of trauma, but at the same time was fun, lighthearted. That's who Ryan Reynolds was supposed to be. Not the test pilot that really should have been Nathan Fillion. Mm-hmm. But Nathan's getting his opportunity. He did it. He was a voice of he did the voice.
He wasn't the first voice.
No, not the first.
Christopher Maloney was.
Yeah. But when they did do,
there's some trivia for you folks.
When they did the Green Lantern like movie where the Emerald Core, where they had like a bunch of different stories, he was Hal Jordan for that one. Mm-hmm. I'm just having like a huge brain fart trying to remember all these different things like right off the top of my head because folks, I'm not using notes for anything other than my list.
And to help us, please email us with any questions about the Green Lantern and any other...
No, do not email me questions about Green Lantern. I do not know jack shit about the Green Lantern. But you can send me emails at dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com.
And Nathan Fillion, you're right. He was in Emerald Knights because the Christopher Maloney version was the first flight with Victor Garber as the voices.
Yep. See?
So, very good.
I know my shit.
Green Lantern Beware My Power was one of the last animated movies they did.
But
and he played Jon Stewart.
Yeah, but we also have now, you have to remember as well, in the Superman trailer, we got Metamorpho.
Yes.
We got Hawkgirl. So we're seeing...
And we also got, who was it, Dr. Midnight, I believe? That was like, it was really quick. It was hard to tell. But even just seeing Metamorpho, Guy Gardner, and seeing Hawkgirl... Mr. Terrific.
Oh, Mr. Terrific, yeah.
Yes.
So Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, and Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. So we're seeing a bunch of different heroes in the DC universe, all in Superman Legacy.
Slowly.
Well, they're there.
Yes.
So this means the way it looks like from this trailer, it really looks like James Gunn is basically saying, this is the universe, it's here. We are going and we are giving you this. And there's already heroes established. We're not going to just give you a bunch of origin stories, which can work.
Yeah.
because they're part of the universe. It's not like what they did with Batman v Superman, where it's like, hey, here's a bunch of videotapes with what these heroes are doing. It got too much.
Yes.
I'm like, I have hope for this one because of crypto, but at the same time, I have like some reservations.
Nicholas Hoult looks good as Luthor.
But those aren't any of my reservations. My reservations aren't on the choices for the actors.
You just got to see what the rest of the script looks like.
That's where I'm like, is this going to be too much? Because we've already seen what happens with Daredevil and Batman v Superman when you do too much. And we don't need a 4-hour fucking Snyder cut of Justice League. I know there's plenty of people out there that loved it, but I didn't need 4 hours. I didn't need the cut that we got from Joss Whedon. And after finding out the problematic nature of Joss Whedon, I've had to and I loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer and a bunch of the different shows he came up with, like Dollhouse, Angel, Firefly. I'm supposed to now try to separate the art from the artist. And that is something that has been very difficult, especially with Joss Whedon. Because I did look up to the guy, but finding out what we found out, it's like, this makes it a lot more difficult. I'm not going to say that he's guilty of things because I wasn't there. I don't know. But if enough people are coming out and saying things, then you know what? You have to believe the victims of this stuff. And it's hard to deny this many people.
It's like a very bad pill to swallow.
It's like trying to deny that Amber Heard took a shit in Johnny Depp's bed. People are crazy.
Yeah, we know that.
That's just crazy. No. But no, so my reservations really are when it comes to the script for Batman v Superman, Daredevil. They did too much too quickly, and the movie just didn't work. Neither one of them. So I'm hoping that we get this movie in a condensed time frame and it doesn't overwhelm everything.
If he does it in, let's see, what was the Christopher Reeve one about? 2 hours at least, roughly.
Back then, yes. Which was a long movie back then. And that was what, 78?
Yes, because 1980 they had Superman 2, which no one realized was one of the first movie franchises to film back to back.
Yeah, well, they also had filmed some of the stuff already, so they were already ahead of the game.
And the crazy thing is, well, you'll laugh, but if you watch the miniseries The Offer, Puzo in '73 already had the Superman script done, so it was sitting on Warner Brothers' shelf for 5 years. And the funny thing is that I don't know if everybody knows, but Simon and Siegel and Simon Schuster.
Siegel and Schuster,
not Simon and Schuster. But Siegel and Schuster have an agreement with Warner Brothers that if you do not make anything Superman by a certain time frame, they get the rights back.
Their estates get the rights back,
yes.
Yep. Which I would like them to get the rights back only because I want the family to make the money that they deserve to make.
I just hope Gunn is giving them because he did. If everybody didn't realize, Will Reeve is in the Superman movie, making a guest appearance as a newscaster.
And that's the thing, though. It's, we're going to see where all of this plays out. And the DC universe has been fraught with a lot of issues over the past years. So, we're going to see they don't have the best track record when it comes to making the live action movies.
I mean, the Batman, well, the only one that they did decent was Nolan's Batman, at least.
Whoa.
At least.
Batman 89. Michael Keaton.
That was still one of the best. That's still one of the best too.
That was one that was done correctly, just like Christopher Reeve's Superman 1 and 2 were done correctly.
We don't talk about 3 and 4. And even my nephew said, I was like, "Do we talk about 3?" He says, "No."
A bad Richard Pryor movie, and just why?
Well,
the last one was from Canon Films.
I know.
So it made
you also
sense.
knew one thing. Number one, it was Canon. Number two, you knew he had a producer, directorial spot near Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why Gene Hackman signed himself to it.
Yeah. Well,
Because he's seen what they were going to do with Superman 3. He's like, I don't want to have no. He didn't want to have no authority on it. But when Reeve got to the next one, he said, okay, I'll do it. But it was a Canon Films.
yeah, and that was the thing, though. But we did get John Cryer, which then John Cryer has then since come back for Supergirl and played Lex Luthor for the Arrowverse, which
He did the Crisis.
Yeah, he did the Crisis event and stuck around to play Lex Luthor for Supergirl till the end of that run. And it was unfortunate because I would have liked to have seen more of him as Lex Luthor, even if he would have shown up in Superman and Lois. I can't say that the one that we just had was a bad job, but it was a very different take. And it was the millionaire. He wasn't the tech genius. It was just, hey, this is the real estate guy who is just a criminal. So,
See, Holt in this one looks like the tech genius the way they have to.
Yeah, the Luthor Corp. This one looks like it's a combination of the tech genius and the real estate mogul, as opposed to just being one or the other.
Yep.
So we'll see how that one all plays out. You
say the word is hope.
Yeah. Well, that's what the symbol from the Kryptonian symbol on Superman's chest. It isn't just the sign for the House of El. It's also the symbol of hope.
And they're saying out of this, because he's calling this the Gods and Monsters part of his franchise, James Gunn. The Authority is going to have a little play in this on that, which we will see as it goes along, because I don't know if you've heard, as we've talked about Creature Commandos.
I still haven't sat down and watched Creature Commandos. I'm actually waiting for that one to finish up and give it a straight run through. Although I did hear that one of the latest episodes did show Clayface.
I have to watch this next one. I know I missed one. But
the holiday really threw a lot of things out of whack.
Flag is going to make an appearance. Frank Grillo will make an appearance in I was going to say the Peacemaker.
Yeah, which
will be out in August.
Which is funny. I just watched. I was hanging out with my brother the other day, and we watched Werewolves with Frank Grillo. Not a bad movie, but not a good movie either. But I will say I did sit down and I watched Craven. Ooh, not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, and I will have to give my top 6 ranking for the Sony villain Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man. It really falls. The worst one is Morbius.
Well, Morbius wasn't a villain. Morbius was a hero.
But Morbius is also a villain.
He falls into both in a way. Yeah, because the way you look at it.
But the Morbius movie sucked. There was no way around it. It was terrible. Then it's Madam Web, and that was
that one goes above Madam Web. Is like in I would go more.
No, Morbius is the worst. Morbius is the worst. It's Morbin time. It's Morbin time. That's all I have to say about that one. But no, Madam Web. I don't blame Madam Web for being as bad as it is for anything other than the script, because they changed it because they didn't know which Spider-Man universe is this supposed to be. So we're not seeing if it was Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, because they took out the references to like the 90s. So it was supposed to be Andrew Garfield, but then they wanted to change it for Tom Holland. And you can't give us all these Spider-Women and not give us them in the costumes more. They gave us very briefly. And I got to say, though, Sydney Sweeney, Dakota Johnson, they did a phenomenal job. It was just a terrible script. I'm
still getting annoyed that they're going to do all this and everything, and they still have not linked anything or even...
Because they're not done. They're done. Craven was the last of them. And now, above Madam Web is Venom 3. Venom the Last Dance. was not good. It was the worst out of the three. Craven would actually be number 3 in the list. So it's actually not as bad as it could have been. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, and their top 1 is Venom. And that's just the Spider-Man villain saga movies without Spider-Man. And that's the problem. You have the villains without the hero. Nobody wants to see these characters. Venom is the only exception that you want to see Venom, but you still want to see him connected with Spider-Man in some way or another. And they had given us hope with that at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. And it was just, They basically retconned everything. So it's like, are you kidding me right now?
It's like, what was it? It's like when you look at Solo, the Star Wars movie, it's like, what does this fit in? Because I noticed the guy with the list.
Yep.
I hate to say, he still got it wrong. Because he put Rogue One after Return of the Jedi.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's wrong.
He's wrong.
He was absolutely wrong on that one.
Yeah.
You know, he wanted to say that was what Lucas said, and it's wrong because it is out of the time frame.
It is 3.5.
Yeah.
We all know that.
It takes place before Episode 4.
Yep.
So that's where that one falls. But then again, it could be, you could do it either way. I think Solo takes place before Rogue One. That's just trying to play with devil's advocate with what fits where. You can watch these movies however you want. You can watch the machete order. You can skip movies for Pete's sake. Yeah. There's enough of them that you can skip. You don't want to watch a pod racing scene? Hey, guess what? You can skip it. Star Wars fans, once again, you are the most toxic bunch of people I have ever been associated with, and I do not like. You know, it's sad that the Star Trek fandom accepts people more easily, and the Star Wars fans are at each other's throats because they just can't accept the fact that the movies are made for kids. I gotta say, right now, I'm still loving Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see. We'll be discussing how that one turns out in the new year as well.
I know. Thanks for reminding me because, like you said, the holiday botched everything.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. It's like trying to keep up with stuff. I knew I was going to get mandated, and I did. Mm-hmm. And they had me over a barrel, and they didn't. It's one of those fun things where it's like when you know your contract, and other people don't realize you know your contract. There's going to be problems. But yeah, it's just the holidays really just screwed with everybody's watching, and there really hasn't been a ton of things unless you want to go to the movies. And I want to see Sonic 3. Sonic 3 looks like it's amazing. I've heard nothing but great reviews on it, but I don't want to go to the movie theater and see it right now. That's just a preference.
Kick Mufasa's ass, doo-da.
Well, it's not surprising.
That's the funniest thing on it, and not only that, even Moana's in third place out of it.
This is the thing, though,
because they had to top it.
But here's the problem. When Disney thinks that it's like, oh, we repackaged The Lion King as a CG movie and people saw it. Yeah, you just told the same story over again. Congratulations. The thing is, you're now telling Mufasa, nobody cares. It wasn't The Lion King. You don't have the same nostalgia. Sonic fans, they're telling the story of the game. So the fans of Sonic are there. They are going to be more ravenous because no one cares about Mufasa as a separate standalone.
If you put it years ago,
if they would have did it after, even if they would have did an animated version of it instead of trying to do CG live action, if they would have did it,
certain ones work, certain ones don't work.
Listen, Mufasa would have basically been a Disney direct-to-video release. That's what that one is. Yeah. Moana 2 was supposed to be a series. So it was supposed to be a series that they said, hey, let's milk this for all it's worth, and we'll just make it into a movie. Why? Why can't you just give people a series? You could have milked it for longer that way. Mufasa, Nobody cared. That could have been a direct to Disney Plus release.
Yeah.
And that would have been like, hey, there's a Disney Plus exclusive. But they want the money. They want to milk everyone for what it's worth. And that's the problem. It's too much corporate greed when it comes to this right now. That's the reason why I'm very selective about going to the movie theater and seeing certain movies.
That's why I like when they put a classic on at the movie theater.
Get closer to the mic because you're...
That's why I'd rather go see a classic at the movie theater than half the time.
Well, yeah, you're getting something good at that point.
And especially seeing it on the big screen if you've never seen it before.
And while we're on the topic of movies, let's go into our top worst list of movies we've seen of 2024. Can you hit your worst? Or do you not have a worst list?
I don't have a worst.
Oh, I've got a worst list.
I got to hear this.
Okay.
Because I don't have anything bad.
Oh, you've got nothing bad? You've got nothing bad?
Well, other than...
I've got bad.
Besides Madam Web. But I didn't see it. Thank God.
Madam Web, on my list.
You just made the list.
Yeah, Craven, on the list. Damsel. Netflix original with, Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good movie. Visually, it was beautiful. But it was like, oh, you have the story of a girl who she's going to marry a prince, and it's going to help unite the kingdoms, but they're going to sacrifice her to basically a dragon. She is wandering around a cave trying to go and outrun this dragon and then fight the dragon. It just wasn't that good. Now, this is in no particular order, mind you, but Craven's on the list, Madam Web is on the list, Borderlands. Never played the game. The movie was... I didn't even see it. The movie...
I seen the trailer. I thought it was cute.
Yeah, but it just... No. Joker Fox 2.
Yes. Thank you.
And you couldn't make a list? There wasn't just one?
Yeah, but mind you, movies, I didn't... I stopped my streak.
And The Crow. The new Crow movie.
The only thing I like is the song that they used. That's it.
No, that movie was terrible.
I know. That's all.
They had a great movie.
A good actor.
But they just wanted to retell the same story. You could have told another Crow story.
But did they?
No. They decided, let's go back to Eric and Shelley. Going back to Eric Draven and Shelley was the worst mistake ever. They would have been better off just going back and doing a new season of The Crow Stairway to Heaven. Retell that story, because Mark Dacascos did a great job on the series as a replacement for Brandon Lee. But this Crow movie was absolutely terrible. I get what they were trying to do, but unfortunately, this was cash grab. This was a blatant cash grab, especially that the creator of The Crow has passed away. So you didn't have anyone stopping them, telling them, like, no, the tone is wrong. This doesn't make any sense. What are you doing? So it was not good.
Schlock.
Oh,
God, where is
No. We don't use that word here. We do not use that word. We do not invoke the name of Satan, Jason Simon. So let's go to a list of good movies for 2024, because I needed to get that off my chest. I don't know if I want to keep this in the show or not. I probably will.
Why not?
Yeah. But no. These are all allegedly statements, so we cannot be sued because we have nothing. But an opinion of him being the worst professor ever is absolutely correct.
Yes.
The opinion of his movies being disgusting and people walking out of them because they were offended, that is absolute truth and fact. I witnessed it happen, so he can't say that it didn't. And the fact that he was my actual advisor and couldn't advise me on how to get an internship.
How did you not have Gertzner?
Because I drew the short straw.
Damn.
Yeah.
I wish Dave Geary was an advisor.
Yeah. Geary was the absolute best professor when it came to giving actual advice on how to make things better.
And mind you, he got an award, which was linked to the Academy.
Yes,
Thanks
because
to the Black Mariah.
yeah, and he would also give you advice on how to make your film better. Not someone who would just tear you down and not give you any clue on how to make things better. So, Jimmy, what do you got for your list for best of 2024?
I will say, one thing I will say is Wicked is there. I'm
Okay.
going in no order. I believe the two of us can agree on our list. Deadpool, Wolverine.
Yep.
Thank you.
That one
I've
is
said that-
that's a given. I did not see Wicked, so I cannot make an informed decision on Wicked just yet.
Red One is an honorable mention for me.
Red
will
One
say-
is on my list as an honorable mention as well.
I will say that. Let's see. Let me go to the. Please go to yours for a minute.
Okay, so Red
go
One
on.
is an honorable mention. I got Bratz, the documentary about the Brat Pack.
Yes, I agree.
Ricky Stenicki, stupid, funny comedy. It should have probably made the worst list, but I found it to be fun. So I had to put it on my list. Argyle.
That was good.
Argyle was a good movie. Now, The Beekeeper. I will watch anything with Jason Statham. I really will. And The Beekeeper was absolute brilliant.
Yes.
And Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool, Wolverine on mine.
Yep.
Number two. The number two tied is Superman, the Christopher Reeve documentary.
I knew you would put that, so I didn't even bother.
Wicked, like I said. Saturday Night.
I knew you would put that one.
That was an amazing. Let me tell you something. Jason Reitman, amazing. Please email us. We want you on the podcast.
Yes, we would
Okay.
love to talk to you. So you can email us at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with two O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com.
One other one I will say, it's Alien Romulus. I was very impressed with the two of them
Yep.
on that one.
Okay, Alien Romulus wasn't bad.
No. Let's see. Ezra was good. It's a good movie with Bobby Cannavale and Robert De Niro. It shows how you deal with the kid that has autism, but you can deal in life.
All right.
So-
Yeah, I didn't see it. That one flew
Was
complete.
good.
Oh, Imaginary Friend. Absolutely.
All right. I believe you've also said Argyle too, which is
Yep.
very good. Cabrini, which is about, if you're not familiar, Mother Cabrini was a big advocate sent over by the church to help with the.
How many movies are on your list?
No, that's what I had to remember.
Oh,
And I believe also we can. And Bob Marley, One Love, I thought was a very good movie.
okay.
Otherwise, that's it. Because you know me, I had the streak, and just
Yep.
like the Taker, and I beat his streak, and
Yeah.
like I said, I beat.
Listen, I saw a lot of good movies this year. I saw a lot of bad movies
I
this
also
year.
saw one thing which was a mini series, good and everything. $1 Million Fight with Kevin Hart, who played in the dramatic role, Samuel L. and Terrence Howard. It was a good movie. It was a good mini series.
Okay. Listen,
But that's it.
I didn't see it, so I can't.
It's on Peacock.
Man, don't have Peacock.
Yeah.
You know, I have to. I paid for Peacock for 1 month. That was for WrestleMania, and then I just canceled because I knew I wasn't going to be using it. I'm not going to spend more money on more streaming platforms than necessary. I will stick to having my one anime one, and then there's anime on others. So having Crunchyroll, which please contact me if you would love to sponsor. We would love to have you.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but no, that's the thing. It's, you know, having too many streaming platforms starts to get really bogged down because trying to remember what's on what, and, you know, unfortunate things that were canceled. The Halo series was canceled.
Yeah.
And it was actually really good. The fans of Halo might not have liked it, but then again, fans of Halo also liked it as well. So that's the thing that confuses me because that show turned out really well and it was canceled. You know, we knew Superman and Lois was on its last run, so it did get canceled, but at least it got a finale.
It
You
got
know-
a finale, and it gave a good
Closure.
goodbye closure to the Berlantiverse.
Yeah, and because it was its final entry, because it had to have one stinker before it finished out, which was Gotham Knights, which I couldn't even get through the first episode. And that's the shame, because Greg Berlanti's Berlantiverse really went, and they did some amazing things, and it lasted for so long, and it was a staple. And the CW is basically disappearing, and it's becoming something completely unrecognizable.
It's different.
And thankfully, I have really nothing to watch on there, other than maybe when Family Law comes back.
Whose Line, at least, maybe if you want a good laugh.
Yeah, but Family Law with Jewel State is a great show, Canadian show, mind you. So it does air in Canada first. Yeah, But no, that's the thing. There's some good shows on there, like Children Ruin Everything, but you're taking Canadian shows and bringing them to the U.S. Because we're trying to save money, because we don't know how to run a network. Hosers. No, this is the thing. We're going into a new year. There's going to be plenty of things to watch, and we're going to be here throughout the entire year, and we're going to be telling you what we think is good. You can feel free to let us know what you think we should be checking out if we're missing it. And you can also let us know if you think something that we have recommended is not good. And you can do that by emailing us at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word, Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. Now, not only can you do that, but you can reach out to us on the Facebook page and the Instagram page, which is Dragoon's Lair Podcast. Mike is usually the one behind the wheel on those. But I also posted on the Facebook page the link to, you can buy me a cup of coffee, which is basically the sponsorship where if you guys want to go and make a donation so we can make some improvements to the show, get some different equipment, get some soundproofing to up the sound quality and everything for the show, you can make a small donation. We are not requiring you to do any of that. It's just an option if it's there. There is on my Facebook page, but I did link it on Blue Sky. So you can find Blue Dragoon 13. Well, it's on my Blue Dragoon 13 Blue Sky page, Jimmy. I think I shared it with you as well.
Yes, you did.
And so we've got some merchandise that's up there.
Merchandising.
So, merchandising. Folks, you can get your own special stickers for the Dragoon's Lair podcast because they're vinyl cut stickers. A little different than the ones that I have, but you can also get some t-shirts and a few other things. Hey, get yourself a coffee mug. I'm trying out Teespring for this, so hopefully it works. And then there's one other one for Eat the Rich. You might want to check that out. Support Luigi because his big brother Mario needs to help him out a little bit. Yeah, and show these corporate scum that basically we are not your playthings because, we are legion. We are many.
That's right.
And there are more fans out there than there are haters. Although at this point, I'm starting to wonder. But no, so show your support, help us out, get some merchandise. You can just go for the Ko-Fi link and basically buy me a cup of coffee, which would go towards making improvements to the show. And you can also find me, the Blue Dragoon 13, on TikTok as long as it lasts. And I will be there till the very end. You can find me on Instagram, Threads, Snapchat, which I'm just there to promote the show, and also the Twitch page, which has a link to the Discord group, so you can find that, join the community. You can pretty much find me almost anywhere with Blue Dragoon 13, and because that's who I am, folks. I am the Blue Dragoon, and with me is Jimmy, the family man Haynes. So how can everybody reach you, Jimmy?
At Blue Sky myself. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
James925 at Blue Sky. Snapchat, JamesSI0925. Instagram and Threads, JamesH_the 4th, all in lowercase. James Haynes IV, James Haynes IV on Facebook, TikTok, James0925. Special shout out as always to my main man with Armored, Michael Schwartz, who listens in as he drives back and forth to his comic book signings, and BoobTube Toys, who gave us a shout out also. And remember, you buy 5 $10.99 pops, you get one free. I know that because I got mine.
Yep. None of these ads are sponsored, folks. So.
No, but we'd like to get them.
Oh yeah, no. We'll shout out our friends and fans if need be, and I want to thank everyone who's been listening this year, everyone who's shown support to the show. It means a lot to us all. We want to make sure that you guys are doing everything you can to help with the smallest amount of helping out the show by liking, sharing, subscribing. Go to the YouTube channel, Blue Dragoon 13. Like, follow, share, show people the episodes. Remember, we are on Spotify. We have polls that I post on Spotify, so you can take part in the polls. You can leave comments, reviews. You can leave us a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whichever one you want to call it these days. We're also on Amazon Podcast, so you're able to leave us plenty of reviews, share, and let us know what you think. We appreciate all the fan interaction. We love hearing from you guys. Not only do we love hearing from you guys, but we love to be able to give you guys what you're looking for. And also, we don't always know if something's for us to check out or it's worth it. So if you guys give us a recommendation, it helps us out, because then it shows that we have somebody telling us, hey, this is flying under your radar. You may want to check this out. And the best way to do that is to leave us a comment, leave us a like, and let us know about it, or send us an email. These are the easiest ways. You can send us a message on Blue Sky. Jimmy and I will definitely be seeing those, because blue skies are where it's nicer to be these days. And yeah, so we want to make sure we thank everyone out there. Thank you all who've supported us throughout the year. Jimmy and I really appreciate it. We want to thank Mike, who's not here today.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
We'd also like to thank our Bridgerton correspondent.
Yep, Danielle Merivet Hernandez. We want to thank her. We want to also thank Pauline Murphy.
And Doug.
That's right. They're not here with us today, but we want to thank each and every one of them for contributing to the show throughout the year and all the other years that we've been online. So we want to thank you all. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we appreciate the fans who they just are there to listen and enjoy the content. We're here to do our best for you guys, and we try to make it as entertaining as possible. Sometimes we're just entertaining ourselves, and you're just here for the ride. So we want to thank each and every one of you once again, and we appreciate you all. Hopefully you're having a great holiday. That's actually stopped recording. No, not that one.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we're going to have a fun little thing with this one. I got to figure this one out. No, so thank you all for listening. Yeah, we had a technical glitch right at the end there. But I want to thank each and every one of you once again. Make sure you stick with us for the new year. We will be with you in the new year. And feel free to listen to us on the new year. Ring in the new year with us. Share us with your friends.
And if you got a sticker, whether it's the white one or the blue one, send the photos to email us. Show us where you're putting them.
Thank you all so much. We appreciate you guys. Thank you again, and let us know where you got the stickers. And let us know if you order any of the Teespring merchandise. I'm trying this out, so I appreciate each and every one of you giving this a shout and trying out what we can do, because we want to be able to continue doing this. We don't ask you for anything other than just listening, liking, sharing, subscribing, and telling your friends about us, so that this way we can get in more ears and more eyes. And just remember, you can see this visually on Spotify first, and a week later we'll be on the YouTube channel. So thank you all for tuning in. Jimmy, want to say it for last of 2024?
Folks, you don't have to go home, but say it with me, baby.
You can't stay here.
Now get out.
Later. Later.